Okay, so welcome to episode 64 of the video show. We're joined today by Andrew Monk from ioLight, and we're going to talk about a video that we made a few months ago, which is all about this ioLight microscope right here.
This is the video show. Get your questions answered by using the hashtag #TheVideoShow.
So, Andrew, tell me a little bit about the microscope to start with.
Hi, this is the world's first pocket-sized high-resolution microscope that we patented a couple of years ago, and we've now produced the product, and here it is, looking absolutely beautiful. You can have a look at our website, ioLight.co.uk, and find out all about this. So it's great for going out into the fields and looking for wriggly things in the pond, which is what the video was about.
Yeah.
And we wanted to show that. So we thought, what better to do than to make the video out in the field and to show it in action.
What was the idea behind the video? What did you want to achieve from it?
There's a couple of things we wanted to achieve. One was as a video instruction manual for the product. So that people could actually say, well, how does it work? Oh, I can see how it works now. The second thing was, this doesn't look much like a microscope. You know, when you say microscope, people think of a tubey thing with all the knobs on. So that's a bit weird. How does it work? Will it suit me? Will it do what I want it to do? So that was important. Yeah,
I think the main thing is, like, will it be of a good enough quality? Will it be able to see good enough images through it? And I think in the video we really proved that you can get amazing quality.
You've got some lovely images on that video of the things we found in the pond.
Yeah. So, in terms of the shoot, how well do you think that went? Like, what kind of did it all go to plan, or were there some things that went like slightly wrong, or did it all go really, really well?
Well, one of the issues, if you remember, is a really hot day in June. We haven't had many of those since. No. And that was, keeping cool was part of the issue. Yeah. And also fighting the sun, keeping the sun off the microscope's fine with the sun, but keeping the sun off the iPad screen was quite a problem. But that was fine. We worked our way around that. We did a couple of shoots. I like the way that you kept it sort of informal, not completely tightly scripted. But that was very nice. Yeah,
so the idea with the script was to get every point that we wanted in it, but not script it too rigidly. So we had each point that we wanted to hit, and then it was just up to you how to get that in conversationally, and we made sure that each shot we were getting in each point that we wanted to hit. What kind of people did you want to see in this video?
Well, the interesting thing about our product is, in a way, this is a bit of a market test. There's a huge range of people that this is going to. So it will go out to families, people who want their kids to have access to a proper microscope, teachers, but also professional engineers, pathologists, professional users as well. So it's a huge scope, and really the internet, YouTube is the only way of doing that, and videos nowadays are essential to do that.
In terms of the idea behind the product, what was the idea behind it? Because it's a massive jump from the kind of microscopes that everyone would think of to this microscope right here. So what was the thinking behind that process?
Well, it's quite an interesting market actually. If you look at the microscope market, there's the lab microscopes, and they cost typically £3,000. Add a camera, you can pay £20,000 for a microscope easily. Great pictures, quite difficult to use, quite intimidating, especially for kids. And then at the other end, you can buy a microscope on Amazon for 40 quid now. A little portable electronic one that plugs into your USB socket. They're not great quality, they're okay. But in the middle, there's a huge gap, and we suddenly thought, well, hang on, why this gap? And then it was just a question of speccing the product. Richard and I have been in product development for years and years and years. So it's about speccing the product to fit that gap, and that's what we've got here, a microscope that performs almost as well as a lab microscope, but fits in your pocket like the portable ones do.
Yeah, and I think that's what I was really impressed with when you first showed me it, was how easy it is to use. So how easy, you've got an app on your iPad, and that's how you view it. That's how you view all the images on it. And I thought that was the most interesting thing, because when I think microscopes, I think people sort of huddled over looking at a tiny little image. But this is you can share these videos really easily. It saves them to your iPad. how important was that making an iPad app and making it that accessible? How important was that?
I think that's vital. And one of the things that Richard and I feel very strongly about is public accessibility to science. And there's a huge amount of government funding going into this at the moment because there's actually quite a big societal risk if the public doesn't understand and engage with science. Well, if you've got the microscope that you described, that kind of gets in the way. They're lovely instruments, don't get me wrong, they're beautiful, but it does get in the way. You show somebody, particularly young people, an iPad and a widget, and they're right into it straight away. You know, their fingers all over it. Can I have a go? What games have you got on it? And that now you're pulling people into science rather than pushing them away. Yeah, and I feel very
makes it so much easier to view stuff and to use it. Like literally, you can just put it in your pocket, like we did, and we went down to the Millennium field and we started using it. That's how easy it is.
Yeah.
You mentioned that when we were filming as well, I mean, you mentioned that your children were interested in it. How have they reacted to seeing this and how do they use it?
Yeah, my daughter is 12 and she just loves it. It's her favourite thing. She picks out things. There was a funny story. In school they went round when she was in year 7 and said, you know, what's your favourite animal? And everybody said dog, cat, or gerbil. And she said tardigrade. The teacher didn't actually know what a tardigrade is. Have a look at our website if you want to know what a tardigrade is. It's a little water bear that you can see under here, and they're quite easy to find and beautiful to view. Yeah. And she's come and done a couple of shows with us, the public shows we've done on Saturdays. She comes and she's great, and people see somebody who's 12 using it, and they realise, you know, it's actually really, really easy to use. So it's great. Yeah, she loves it.
I learned loads just making this video about that. It was just really interesting to see the amount of life that we were finding in this little pipette when we were squeezing it on. So that was really good. In terms of the video, how has that helped explain how the microscope works?
Well, it's done what we wanted it to. It very clearly and nicely, I think, presents the microscope. It answers, I think, a lot of the, well, what is this kind of questions. Yeah. People can see quite clearly what it is. And hopefully it will be useful as well to people who are thinking of buying one and want to know physically how it works. There's a paper manual in the box, but somehow video manuals are just so much easier to see, you know, so how does that actually work?
Field tests of how the product works.
Yeah. Particularly things, I mean, there's one thing in particular, the way that people try and focus this, like you know, by putting their hands on the top. Whereas the manual says, put your hand like this when you're touching the mast. And actually you can see in the video that's what you do. And people go, oh yeah, and it makes it much easier.
Because like when it was like this, I couldn't tell as a microscope. Yes. People watching it were like, what the hell is that? But then you go like that, and it's a microscope. Yeah, straight away. So thank you for coming along to the video show.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, and thank you for explaining a little bit about your products. What I'd love you to do now is go and watch the video. I'm going to put a link below, so go and watch the video there and take a look at this really cool microscope. And I would definitely say, if you're interested in finding out more about science, go and buy one. Go out into the fields and see what you can find.